Alright, so for today's review, we are going to be taking a look at the Diecast Masters Cat Ap655F Paver at 1 to 50th scale. This is a relatively new release from Diecast Masters. Norscot previously released two, or actually I should say 4 pavers. They came with canopies and without canopies. I'm not really sure on the numbers. I believe they were the I think it was 650s maybe or something like that. 650D maybe, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the new Diecast Masters model. It's a completely different model than the Norscot ones. So without further ado, let's get straight into the review here. So starting off with here, you can see you got a bunch of simulated vent working here. This is where your engine would be. And they just applied some decals on there. It's a nice added touch there. And you can see you got some vent work right here as well in the casting as well, which is very nice. And you can see you got your AP655F Cat decal right there, power edge. And I'm not sure how well you can see this, but there is a little tiny warning decal right there, which is pretty sweet. And you got some work lights here on the front. Then coming back to here, you can see it says grade control. You got some more warning stickers right here, and then you got one on the back of the screed as well, right here. And you can see you got a nice cylinder for your screed as well. This one functions. This cylinder down here does not function at all. It's just primarily for show. It all pivots on this point right here. And then while we're down here, you can see your detailed undercarriage right here. You got your rollers and your sprocket and stuff like that. Your bottom rollers do not move, but there are little indentations on the track so they can roll around there very nicely. And then you can see there's a nice track pattern right there. And then this would be the bottom of your conveyor that brings the asphalt from the hopper to the back as well. And then you can see the auger is modeled very nicely right there. And the under part of the screed is just fairly blank. And then one thing that's pretty sweet on these models, the Norscot ones didn't do this, is the operator's console does slide out, which is pretty nice. So you can have your guy, you can have the paver with a little Diecast Masters guy sitting right there, sitting on an angle so we can see the curb and stuff like that. It does slide back in. You got some plastic handrails around here. Kind of flimsy, but it gets the job done. You can see you got a nice Cat decal right there, and then you got 2 painted work lights right here with some silvered surfaces. And then coming to the back of the model, the one thing I really do like a lot about this is they modeled like the control console to move the screen in and out. I like that a lot. I don't even think the NZG Birkin, or not the Birkin, the Vogeler that I have doesn't even have this modeled this pretty accurate. So that's relatively nice. And you can see right here you got some reflectors right there. You got some steps on your screw right here, and then all your handrails and stuff back here are plastic. You can see you got some like gauges modeled right there. And then your steering column, or your steering mechanism, is all modeled very nicely on both sides. And you got some steering wheels as well right there. And then coming over to this side, it's almost the same. It's just a little less detailed right here. You can see it says grade control right there. You got your warning decals right there, and you got some more vent work decal right there. And then the back of the screed here, it does come out, which is relatively nice. Comes out to about there, which is pretty good, I would say. You got some hydraulic cylinders that actuate it, which is really nice. For some reason, I think the diamond plate on this one is a little raised, because every time I move it in and out, I'm not sure how well you can hear that, but there is a little bit of friction right there, and it makes kind of like a zipping noise as well. And then one other thing to show, you can kind of see right there, there's a little warning triangle right there. I'm not sure why they've made it so that these handrails are like bent back like that. It's kind of weird. I've never seen this paver before, so I mean that could be like that on the real machine. I'm not sure. And then coming to the front of the model, like I said, you got a nice Cat decal right there. Your hopper's pretty simple. The belt is just part of the casting. And then your rollers right here are also part of the casting as well. So now we can get to some of the functionality of this model. So like I said earlier, you guys saw that the screed came out. That's about as far out as it'll come. The one thing I don't like about this screed is there's like a little metal lip right there. You can see it kind of hanging down. So when you have the screed down all the way, there is like a bit of a gap right here, which I don't really like. but nothing you can really do about it. So the screw does go in and out, and then it does lift up, and it goes down to there to where you get the tracks on the back off the ground, which is very nice. Like I said earlier, both the operators compartments, they do come out, which is nice. You just gotta be very careful not to break these handrails. This one on mine, just like a little weird. I'm not really sure what was going on when they put that one on. The piece of plastic was too long, or they didn't cut it, or something else. But it's not too big of a deal for me. And then your hopper does fold up for transport and to get any of this material in the corners to fall onto the belt, which is nice. And we'll zoom out here a little bit more. The exhaust does come off, which is nice. It is interchangeable. It's not hollowed out. It's just got a little bit of an indentation. So your exhaust is changeable. So you do get an extra exhaust. You get that one. You get the straight pipe. And then you get kind of like an angled pipe right there. And the reason for this is you get a canopy with the model. I'm not really a big fan of these. And as you can see, mine's kind of broken right here. I've only touched this thing once, and that was to take a picture of it. So that's another reason why I don't like these canopies. We don't really use them here in the Midwest, and I can't say I've seen them on any other paving projects as well. It's open ROPS or you're not paving at all. So you do get this, but as you can see, gotta be real careful because this part is very fragile. But to me, this is just useless, and will just stay in the box. I'll probably just re-glue that, and it'll stay in the box. But you do get some orange painted warning lights on there, which is nice. And then there is a cat decal right there on the back. I'm not sure how well we can see it, but there's a cat decal right there on the back. But for me, that'll never really see use along with this exhaust. I'll never really see any use, just stay in the box, because this is what the paver will look like when it's on display for my collection. But that's really about it for this review. So that's a look at the Diecast Masters Cat Ap655F 150 scale. They do have the AP650F as well. That's the wheeled version of this model. I picked this model up from Nicks Construction Diecast. Here's a little card that he sent me with it. You can see his website down there, his email address, his name. Pretty good guy to get this model from. I got a pretty good deal on it. I was actually going to buy one, and then he listed this one up for sale. I had to jump all over it. I wasn't going to miss the opportunity on this model. So if you want to, looking for some 150 scale stuff, I highly recommend checking him out. Had no problems with him whatsoever. He's a pretty good guy, and he's relatively new, so I like to support the new people in the hobby, or support the new sellers in the hobby, I should say. But that's really about it for this review. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If you aren't subscribed, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. And if you would like to follow my social media, both links are in the description. Facebook, I haven't really been on there lately, but Instagram, since school's over now, I am getting back to that. So I'm trying to get that updated at least once a day. But that's really about it for this video. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video to be uploaded.